What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy SnowyKurama, and we are back again with the Chicago White Sox for another draft league season. But no, this is not a PDL video, as you could tell from the title. This is, in fact, a newer draft league that Adam, Mitch, and I have decided to participate in, called the Galar Trade Service, I think. Is that what it's called? Galar Trade Service League, or GTS. Yes, that's what it's called. My bad. Anyway, I'm going to read the rules right off the Discord, although I will put them in the description as well in case you want to read them. So each coach will have to draft the following: a Tier 1 Mon, a Tier 2 Mon, 3 Tier 3s, 3 Tier 4s, 3 Tier 5s, and a Mega Pokemon. And the really cool thing about this league is your roster will change by one Pokemon after every game. And if you win, you trade a Pokemon for free agents of the same tier. But if you lose, you can trade one for a higher tier. And then they have stipulations on how many Tier 2s and 3s and whatnot you can have, which is really, really cool for people who are not aware of kind of how the new meta works, which one of them is me. I haven't really played a single NatDex game in my life. This is a National Dex League, of course, here. And going on, Megas must be drafted from the lower tiers. So Tier 1 Megas we could not grab. I don't exactly know off the top of my head what they were, but I know there was Mega Altaria, Mega Medicham, Mega Lopunny, Mega Tyranitar. All those guys could not be drafted first. You can only draft Tier 2 and below. I'll show all of that probably on the screen here, or just talk about it a little bit later. Mons traded out must not appear back in your roster. Once it's gone for good. So if I drafted, let's say, freaking... what's it called? Sizzlepede? Centiskorch, that's what it is. If I draft Centiskorch, and then I decided to trade it out for, let's say, Rotom-Mow, I could not grab Centiskorch again once I trade it out. And then we have Gigamax and Dynamax allowed, but only a Tier 3 Mon or below can use that gimmick. So really, really cool. Really excited for this league. I was definitely not sure what the hell I should pick, except for is kind of leaning towards things that are a little bit more familiar to me, but I will get into that right here now. So I will have the draft order up on the screen. Bunch of people I don't really know. We were put into divisions, and Adam and I were put in the same division while Mitch was put into the other one. And holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, my draft took forever. We did the same as we did in Jake's league, which I didn't really record, so that doesn't help nobody. But we did it through Discord instead of live chatting. We just did it through the text chat, which I do like, but it does take a lot longer. The other division, which is the Wigglebutt division, took maybe a week, a little bit longer than that. We almost went 2 whole weeks. There were days when we didn't even do much drafting. Maybe 3 people picked because everybody else was doing a whole bunch of other things. Everybody's in a whole bunch of different time zones. It's just crazy. But yeah, as you can see on the board here, I am first draft pick, which is really, really cool to be first or last in my opinion, because you can sit back and sort of watch other people draft and see how you can beat certain Mons and whatnot. So I went first, which means I didn't go last and be able to observe every little thing, but I did get to pick the one Pokemon, or one of the few Pokemon that I absolutely wanted in this draft, and I will get to that right now into the team builder. So the Chicago White Sox, Season 1 of the GTS, first pick was Obstagoon in Tier 3. Now Obstagoon is something that I feel like would be really, really great in draft. Look at these stats. We got really nice bulk in 93, 101, and 81. Decent speed, very, very fast in Sword and Shield OU, which is the tier it's only can be used in now, OU and above. And in NatDex, it's because we have things back like Kartana and Landorus and a whole bunch of other fast boys. Its speed tier isn't that bad. Not really. It's okay speed. and has a 90 attack, and we don't care about a special attack. But what's really cool is we have access to Guts, so Flame Orb can boost our attack even more. This thing has access to close combat, just like everything else that was put in the Sword and Shield, and its stabs are really nice and dark and normal. We're immune to Prankster as well. And I'm not going to talk about too much on my plans with Obstagoon besides just that, because I don't want everybody to kind of, know what I'm going to do and whatnot, since I think I might be the only one recording my matches and putting them up on the YouTubes. So, yeah, that was my first pick, Obstagoon. And then everybody else did their picks. Then we come back into my turn, and I decide, because I get to pick two things, because my first one, it's a snake draft, what I should say. So my first pick was my round 1, and then I get to pick 2, just like Adam does. And my first one will be tier 3, and then my second one will be, my first one will be round 2 pick, and then my second one will be my round 3. So I decided to go find a Stealth Rocker, as well as some other kind of defensive options that are what I like. I looked through this tier list and I thought, okay, that's a steal at this tier. That's a steal at this tier. Why is this so low? Why is that so high? And one of those things I saw was tiered pretty damn low, and tier 4 was Seismitoad. Seismitoad's a great rocker. It has access to pretty cool abilities. Water Absorb can neutralize Dracovish. Poison Touch, if I wanted to run offensive, I could poison things kind of like a Muck would. And Swift Swim, I could counter Rain with that as well. Its water ground typing is really, really great with 1 weakness and 4 times to grass, but that's really it. And its bulk is great with 105, 75, 75, and it has access to Scald, Earth Power, Toxic. I don't think it gets much Recover, which is kind of sucks, but that's really the only thing. We are playing NatDex, so everything has access to Toxic, but Seismitoad's just really, really nice. And then my round 3 right after that was Vileplume. Again, something else that I'm quite familiar with. Has access to Strength Sap, has Hidden Power Fire now doing NatDex. And it's just all around great. Leech Seed again here. Could run Swords Dance if we wanted to. But this is something that I wish I had in PDL Season 5, and now I can go ahead and try to see how much work it does with all the new Sword and Shield guys mixed in. This is also at tier 4, which I thought was kind of appropriately tiered, I guess, considering what other grass types that we have access to, but definitely not a bad grass type to have. Kind of sucks that it's not resistant to ground, but I mean, eh. And then we kept going. Let's see here. Did anybody... Oh, yeah. The guy right after me took Caparaja, which is what I kind of wanted my Dynamax Mon to be, so I could have access to those steel stealth rocks. But it is what it is. Ferrothorn was picked, so I couldn't grab that for tier 1 or 2. Ditto was picked, which is really good because they can just copy the Dynamax and all the stat up buffs and just counter sweep, just like we saw with before the Dynamax ban. And then we go all the way back to mine. Trying to see. Well, I have it up here, but I'm also scrolling through the Discord just so I can see if somebody picked something that I wanted to take. So my round 4 pick is Ribombee. I wanted some nice sticky web support for all of my slower Mons, and I thought Ribombee is really, really good in that aspect or in that regard. Its abilities, you probably just use Shield Dust. There's no need to use Honey Gather. It's fucking stupid. Really fast, not very bulky, but that's okay. We can buff up our stats with Quiver Dance if we would like. Dazzling Gleam and Bug Buzz are a nice combination in that oh, Moonblast, never mind. We got something else. We got Roost, which I didn't know it had. But that's okay. U-turn if you wanted to do that. But the main thing is Sticky Web. That's what this thing does the best in UU. and I'm hoping that we can set up some nice webs here to help out our slower guys. And then my round 5 pick is my tier 1 Tornadus T, kind of taking after Jake with his pick. It's got really nice support moves in Defog and also has a Roost. Knockoff, just in case we want to get rid of some items, because everything gets knockoff again. And then we also have U-turn, taunt, tailwind. We can use sub if we wanted to. This thing has really good offensive stats as well, with 100, 110, and 121, so it's fast, and you could be either a physical or a special attacker, kind of depending on what you want to do. Its defensive stats are all right in 79, 80, and 90. It's pretty bulky, not the bulkiest we've ever seen, but still pretty nice in the bulk area. Biggest thing, though, is Regenerator. So we could come back in with however much health. Did it get a 1/3? No, this thing isn't. This isn't the thing that got the debuff or nerf. Yeah, this isn't what got the nerf. It was the berries nerf. So yeah, I thought Tornadus T would be perfect. Plus, it's a ground resist. We don't have much for that right now, save for Bombi. So yeah, thought Tornadus T would be great. And then we go down the line. Heracross was taken from me. I forgot Heracross existed, to be honest, but I needed a fighting type. I thought, okay, Heracross would be cool, but did not get that. Adam's back on his Ambipom bullshit, of course. And then going down the list, someone took Mega Pidgeot. That was something that I was really, really looking at because I didn't have a Mega yet. Flying Stab is really good, although I do have Torn now, so I don't know. Pidgeot still has great coverage in my opinion. Someone took Scrafty as well. And then we come back to my turn. I was looking at the list here, and I saw Adam had Hatterene. I hate facing Hatterene, so I thought also for priority we should grab Scizor back into our ranks for the Chicago White Sawks, coming back with us for GTS. We've got Bullet Punch, we've got U-turn, we've got a bunch of cool things we could do. Roosted Defog as well, if that's what we want to do. It has Detect, I guess. Cool, I guess. Toxic, Tailwind, Swords Dance set if we want. We have Technician to boost up our lower moves, of course. And then we have our monstrous attack stat with our really nice defensive stat. And it's just all around great. Scizor is going to knock out a bunch of Mons for me, I just know it. And looking at my Mega is what I wanted to do next, because I hadn't grabbed the Mega yet. I also was in need of a Ghost type, but I didn't grab the Mega Banette, which would have been a pretty obvious, nice pick for me. Because looking at my team, I kind of had a bunch of, I guess, physical attackers, depending on how you want to use Seismitoad and Torn. Torn's mostly special, but I mean, I needed something to hit really, really hard on the special side. Kind of sucked that I had to take another grass type, but I went with Mega Sceptile. Mega Sceptile is a Mon that I was thinking about taking in PDL, but I ended up taking Latios instead as my dragon type. This thing has a really good special attack and speed stat at 145. Attack stat's nothing to laugh at either with 110. Its bulk is not really that great, but that's okay. We have a Lightning Rod to help against the electric type moves for Torn. And it has Leech Seed, I know that. We can use Leaf Storm. Just sort of sweep things with this, hopefully, or at least break some walls for, say, Obstagoon or Tornadus to take care of, or any of our other team members that might also work with that. I could see myself getting rid of this because it's an ice weakness that we only have, we don't really have any ice resists so far on the team besides maybe Scizor. Yeah, Scizor. But I needed a Mega Pokemon, and this thing was here. I think it was the best Mega that I could pick at the time. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... Nah, I put it up before. Never mind. And then going through the list, we got... Greninja was taken, but that's okay because it was Torrent. Venusaur is nice. Comfey is nice, it was taken. Shedinja, Adam took that, which is pretty interesting. Morpeko was something cool that I completely forgot about. And then we come all the way back up to my turn. And I wanted the Ghost type, of course. And I also need a fire type to kind of round up the fire, water, ice that I had. Not fire, water, ice, fire, water, grass that I had going. Plus, I had not much of a good resistance to fire at this point. So I went with Chandelure. This thing is not too fast, but its special attack is monstrous, and its defensive stats are alright, 90. But with 60 HP, it's not a lot. But put a scarf on this thing, it's going to outspeed a lot of shit, and then just tear through my opponents. Got Infiltrator, so we don't give a shit about sub, and it's got nice attacks in Dual Stab, Ghost Fire, which is nice. We have a Fire Resist and a Fighting and Normal Resist for our Obstagoon, of course. And we have access to Taunt, we can do Will-O-Wisp, we can do a Trick Room if we wanted to, I don't know, maybe. Pain Split, we got Hex if we want to do that. It's just a good mod to have. It's going to break things, it's going to scare some people probably. And then my next pick was Rotom Frost. Rotom Frost isn't really great Rotom form, but I mean, Electric Ice is a nice stab. It has a lot of good coverage. And it is a Defogger as well as a Will-O-Wisper. With the addition of Nasty Plot into its move pool, it can actually do nice damage. I can trick some things. It gets trick, right? I think so. Yeah, I can trick some things, toxic some things. It'll be pretty nice to have around. Its stats are still the same, although it doesn't have the nice resistances that its other Rotom forms have. But I think it'll still be nice. It's an Ice Resist as well. It's also Rotom. Rotom's cool. And then I also, well, actually going back down the line, we have a bunch of people who picked same things as us, or me and other people, because the doc wasn't really updated. But that's okay. We go through the list. Audino was taken, and I actually thought, oh shit, I probably should have taken that because I don't have a cleric on the team so far. Closest I have is self-healing, like Torn and Vileplume and Ribombee and Scizor, but that doesn't help the team out, it just helps themselves. So we go all the way down. I was thinking, and I decided to pick up Clefairy from tier 5. This thing's stats isn't that great, as it's, you know, it's fucking Clefairy. Special defense goes up with the Eviolite, and we have access to Wish and Protect and Heal Bell and whatnot, Aromatherapy as well. We can do things with, I think it doesn't get Moonblast, things just Dazzling Gleam. Healing Wish if we would like to do that. Knock Off as well, it's another Stealth Rocker. I can see myself getting rid of this thing for something that's a little bit better, but we can just see how the whole thing goes. And then the next mod I picked up, I was going through my options for Dynamax because I didn't really see myself Dynamaxing my Obstagoon or Seismitoad or Vileplume or anything else that was available to go ahead and do, strictly because of the lack of Max Airstream, which is one of the best max moves in my opinion. It goes ahead and raises your speed stat by 1. So I decided, why not Gallade? It gets access to a flying move as well as Max Knuckle, which raises your attack stat by 1, and also it's just really nice to have around. It's got a big old attack stat and pretty nice special defense. Its speed isn't that great in 80, but again, we have Max Airstream to kind of cover that up. Also, our psychic moves can be turned into Max Mindstorm, which can come in and give us psychic terrain, so priority won't come and fuck us up, as well as our Max Mindstorm the next turn will hit a lot harder. And of course we have Knockoff and Swords Dance to make Max Guard. I think Gallade is going to do our team pretty nicely. It's a tier 4, but it's still not going to be a bad Dynamaxer in my opinion. And then the entire rest of the draft kind of went, and I'm like, okay, I have 1 pick left. I don't have a Rapid Spinner, so let's just pick up Sandslash from tier 5, because that was the only slot that I had left. Sandslash gets Rapid Spin, which is really cool. What sucks is its special defense and speed aren't that great, but it's got other attack and defensive stats that are pretty nice. We could try to use like Max Rockfall with our Gallade and use Sand Rush if we wanted to up its speed to base 140, I think it is. No, it would be 130, base 130, which is pretty nice speed. And then we just have, you know, coverage. It's a ground It's a ground type. You know how it goes. It's just a Sand Slash as well. So yeah, this is the team. This is the Chicago White Sox. We got Obstagoon, Tier 3, Tier 4 Seismitoad, Tier 4 Vileplume, Tier 3 Ribombee, Tier 1 Torn, Tier 2 Scizor, Mega, and Sceptile, Tier 3 Chandelure, Tier 5 Rotom, Tier 5 Clefairy, Tier 4 Gallade, and Tier 5 Sandslash. My first match is against the one of the mods for the draft, Dix. I don't know what he's going to want to do. I've been prepping a little bit here and there, but I'm excited to see how this is going to go. So yeah, this is the Chicago White Sox for the GTS. Hopefully we can pull out some wins. Really just trying to redeem myself from the previous season of the PDL where I went almost winless. But it's just how it goes. Hopefully we can have some fun with this league. Hit that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you want to track my journey through the GTS and other draft leagues and other Pokemon content. And with all that being said and more, this has been your boy, SnowyKurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.